because not all abs are created equal, right? Not all forward head posture is created equal, but these central abs in both cases, if they're working too much all the time, are not going to help your case because they're going to pull that sternum down. They're going to make it a lot easier for that head to come forward, for the muscles in the front of the neck to pick up leverage. My name is Greg Chaplin. I'm a physical therapist and strength and conditioning specialist. And in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about forward head posture and the sternum. We're going to talk through a few mistakes that you want to try to avoid making when you're trying to correct a forward head posture or you're dealing with neck pain. And we'll talk a little bit about how the sternum plays a role with that. But first, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So what is forward head posture? All forward head posture is not exactly created equally, so we have a couple of different types. We have the classic type, which you'll see when that person becomes rounded forward, the lower part of the neck bends forward, and then the upper part of the neck tilts this way, and the head tilts up. Now, as you can see, the head is forward. We have what's considered upper cervical extension, where the top vertebrae are moving this way, while the lower neck is actually bending forward. That's traditional forward head posture. And you might hear terms like lower cross syndrome thrown around with that. And that's sort of traditionally what you're taught is forward head posture. Now there's another type of forward head posture that you'll see on someone that's a little bit less rounded through here. They're actually in what's more of a military posture, but they have so much muscular activity on both sides of their body that the muscular activity here in through the abdominals and also the front of the neck end up pulling the head forward, but we don't see the traditional bend here and extension up there. What we see is more of a flattening throughout the entire spine as the head orients forward. So those are two very different types of forward head posture, but they have one thing in common, which is that the actual head is getting pulled forward. And now, what is the main culprit for pulling the head forward? The main culprit is these two big muscles that run down from the base of the skull here, just behind the ear, down to the top of the sternum, called your sternocleidomastoid muscles. Now, they attach right here. And if they get some leverage to pull, they will pull the head down towards the sternum. And so instead of the head being back here, the head's going to get pulled forward. Now, here's the key. If that sternum gets pulled down by tight six-pack muscles that are known as the rectus abdominis, what ends up happening is that as we're tightening here, and this picks up leverage, now we get the head translating forward because the abs are actually pulling the sternum down, the sternum is being pulled down, and those muscles that come up via the sternum to the head are now getting pulled down. And if they start to pick up leverage in that position, they'll pull down even further, and you'll have a pretty significant forward head. Now, why do we care about this? We care about this because when we're doing things to correct forward head posture, what we want to keep in mind is that the muscles of the neck are relatively small relative to your trunk muscles like your abdominals. So if you're someone that's doing a lot of crunches or even a lot of planks or anything that's really going to engage these six-pack muscles here on the front side of the body, you are putting yourself in a position to fail. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take those activities out. You want to make sure that when you're breathing and when you're sitting, you're able to have this sternum come fully out and then fully back into a position that is still slightly angled and not tucked under. Now, some of you may think that your sternum is actually in that proper position, but what some of you might be doing is actually tilting back the entire rib cage to have the appearance of this, but really it's still pulled down into this position. It just looks like it has the right angle because you're actually leaning back through your spine and you're not achieving that through just the full excursion of breathing. First thing we can do is just simply seated breathing to bring a little bit of an awareness to that sternum. So in this position, you can put your hands kind of on that lower rib cage. You're going to find the point where both ribs come up and meet to a point. That's the bottom of your sternum. That's the part that's going to come forward a little bit as you inhale, and that's the part that's going to reduce back to that resting position as you exhale. So you're going to do your breath into the nose here. You should feel like you get a little bit of swiveling out as that happens, and you're going to exhale very gently so that you're not bringing in the abdominals as you exhale, these central abdominals, to pull this down. You're just going to let that reduce. So you're going to inhale, feel for that expansion. As you do that, you're going to be careful not to bring your head forward. So this would be an incorrect rep, right? That's you probably using those sternocleidomastoid muscles to pull up on the sternum instead of just allowing the air filling to move that sternum forward. Now, if you're having difficulty achieving that, that means that you've probably developed some compressive strategies here at the level of the rib cage or in the abdominals here that attach to the sternum that are kind of keeping everything weighed down. So if that's you, you're probably going to have to do some things to gently move that sternum. You could do a gentle reach forward as you inhale and a gentle reach back as you exhale. A gentle reach forward as you inhale and a gentle reach backward as you exhale. This is going to start to turn this side of the rib cage and this half of the sternum, because actually you do have two halves of the sternum, not just one. Now, if you can't get that movement here, what you may need to do is straighten out this top leg and reach towards that wall so that you can open the space between the crest of your hip and that lower rib region. This is going to give you a little bit of a stretch through here, and then as you breathe in and reach, you're going to feel this opening up and actually yielding a little bit and expanding up this way. And you're going to exhale and reach back. Inhaling forward, exhaling and reaching back. Inhaling and reaching forward, keeping that heel of the right side stretched way out. Exhaling and reaching back. Inhaling and reaching forward, exhaling and reaching back. That should restore some movement of the ribs in that frontward direction. Now, to further that, you could go onto your back. In this position, you can lift your arm up. You're going to reach up, but also back as you inhale. You'll feel that your ribs open right up, and then you're going to exhale, bring your arm back up. Once again, you'll inhale as you reach up and back, feeling the ribs here open and that sternum lift up. Then you're going to exhale and go back. Inhale, reach up and back. Then you're going to exhale to return. Now, those two activities or three activities are about as gentle as you get. At some point, though, you want to start to bring in the gravity on your side in an inverted activity like a child's pose or something where your upper body is lower than your lower body, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow your guts to travel down. That's going to move your sternum down as you inhale, as long as you kind of relax those abdominals. So a good activity to work on that is going to look like this. You're going to get your elbows down so you're on your forearms, your butt is up. You're going to let your weight come forward a little bit. You're going to let your chest kind of drop down towards the table. You're going to inhale and feel like that sternum drops further towards the table and the front of the rib cage naturally moves down. Then you're going to exhale, focusing on an increased duration. And you may feel the outer abdominals pull in more here towards the sides, but you should feel that the central abdominals stay relatively relaxed. So again, it's an inhale. You're going to allow those abdominals to come down and the sternum to come down, right down the center. And you're going to exhale and allow the ribs to pull in. Now, in this position, you're going to make sure that you keep your head from coming further forward, especially as you inhale. And then you're going to exhale with an increased duration there. Now, if you are going to progress to something more like a hands and knees variation, what you want to be careful of is as you're doing something like this that you actually don't tuck under with the sternum and tighten your central abs. So you want to be a little bit gentler with this. You want to press straight down with your hands. You want to relax your abs, almost like you're doing the impression of someone that's pregnant. And then you want to inhale, almost allowing that stomach to drop down a little further. Then you're going to exhale for a long time, focusing on the duration, and you may feel that these ribs move together without the central abdominals becoming the primary focus of the activity. The other things that you're going to watch out for is when you're sitting, if you're someone that tends to slump down, you're going to avoid dropping that sternum real low. The other thing you're going to do is, even if you're someone who likes to extend up and lift the entire rib cage back, like we talked about, you want to be careful about the amount of tension here. So every once in a while you can press in on the belly and see, is it engaged or is it soft? Because not all abs are created equal, right? Not all forward head posture is created equal, but these central abs in both cases, if they're working too much all the time, are not going to help your case, because they're going to pull that sternum down. They're going to make it a lot easier for that head to come forward, for the muscles in the front of the neck to pick up leverage. So to review, you want to be careful with the abdominal training that you're doing, right? You want to progress slowly, make sure you can get the sternum to come fully out without cheating by just extending the spine, because that's just adding another layer of compensation. Then you want to be careful how you're sitting at rest, making sure not to overly tighten these central abdominals when you're at rest. And with all those things, you should be more easily able to correct that forward head posture that you're working on. So thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and then tell me what topics you want me to cover next. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.